Like all institutions, prostitution has a history. In particular, it includes the existence of municipal brothels in Anduze in the 14th and 15th centuries. With the 16th century, prostitution had to become more discreet, subjected to religious and moral condemnation. The judicial archives of the Senechaussee of Nîmes provide us with a fine bundle of proceedings, amounting to some 60 pages. They allow us to follow the fate of Isabeau, a young woman of about 25 who lives in Boisé near Anduze, but whom the men of the town know well, for she often frequents the market where she makes herself visible. One day, Eliu forces the door of a modest village house where Isabeau is staying. She is pregnant and has just initiated judicial proceedings against him. Furious, he threatens her and orders her to withdraw her complaint. Questioned by the judge about this break-in and these threats, Eliu denies everything. He also firmly denies having had carnal relations with Isabeau. She, on the contrary, affirms it, adding that he did not pay her, but promised her services among friends. To extricate himself from the affair, Eliu files a complaint in turn, and it is the judicial inquiries and interrogations resulting from this procedure that constitute the material of our historical investigation. Simon Ports, a plowman, explains to the judge that the young men of Anduze often go to Isabeau Gilbert's house because, having neither father nor mother, she lives alone. He even gives names and specifies that one day, having entered Isabeau's house, he saw her kissing a man on a crate, the man taking pleasure in her. Another witness, Jean-Philippe, reports that he saw two hunters early in the morning shut themselves in at Isabeau's house and remain there until evening. Madeleine Fesquet, her neighbor, specifies that she receives her clientele at her home. All the testimonies agree in portraying Isabeau as a public whore who lives from the love she sells at her home or elsewhere. One witness reports that she has had two bastards, understood in more modern and less moral terms as two illegitimate children, and that each time she tried to capitalize on these accidents, dare I say, work-related incidents, by attributing them to wealthy men in order to profit from them. One of the accused, whom she likely knew poorly, exposes her by organizing an identification session. 4 men are presented to Isabeau, who is tasked with recognizing him, an exercise at which she fails. We learn that her first child was born 7 years earlier, the work of the son of the Sieur of Laison. Isabeau was then 18. She would have been taken in by a woman paid by the Lord of Laison for 4 years. She would also have tried to pin this child on another man, Jean Frigoulier, a tailor from Marciague-les-Anduze. Here, then, is a well-formed young woman, an orphan, who finds ways to make a living by mobilizing the charms that nature had the kindness to grant her. Clever, she seeks to profit from her 2 pregnancies. Let us note in conclusion that 2 pregnancies over more than 7 years of activity is not many. Isabeau seems to exercise a certain control over her fertility, most likely after her first pregnancy, and strengthened by the experience gained, she developed sexual practices that spared her the risk of conceiving. She therefore had to master the outflow of the life-giving fluid of her clients. One can easily imagine the variety of means employed.